everyone. How are you? This is a small, intimate group I see today. Um, how's everybody doing? Oh my God, it's been raining like crazy here, so
Yes, it
that
has
must
been.
mean
It has
it's
been.
snowing like crazy where you guys are.
Uh,
It's snowing today and very cold,
mm,
but that's a switch from our 45 and 50-degree dry weather.
wow.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah,
crazy mild winter,
Wow.
yeah.
and we're
We
supposed to be
just
back
had
up into the 40s next week.
we just had like 5 days of 50s, which allowed us to get stuff painted, but now it's snowing and it's gonna snow for 3 days. It's like, okay,
Shereen, you're not snowing,
you're
are
not
you?
snowing, are you?
But no, not snowing. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
doing all kinds of gardening lately. So no, it's I've been planting all my bulbs and refreshing my planters around the palm trees.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, if we even get a
Awesome.
dusting of snow during the winter, it's gone by midday. We have to,
Yeah,
it doesn't stick really generally.
No.
But
yeah.
we're usually like we've been actually February is usually our coldest month, but I would say we spent most of this month in the 60s. It's been during the day, it's been beautiful.
Wow, that's very nice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it actually snowed on the higher peaks here last night.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah, you guys are
and that
getting
usually,
quite a,
if it gets cold enough, that'll happen pretty much every year. But
Yeah.
yeah,
but you guys have quite a storm system coming through, don't you, Linda,
yeah,
in
yeah,
California? Yeah.
yeah. So there's flooding and
Hey, Phil.
all kinds of things, all up and down the coast.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible winds. Winds are
Yeah,
crazy
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
yeah.
we got snow too
Oh,
on the
Got
You got
snow?
snow
on the
up on
mountain.
San Jacinto?
Yeah.
Yep, up on San Jacinto. Yeah.
Oh,
Sometimes we'll get it on the lower mountains too. So,
oh, wow. Yeah, we've just been watching the flooding in LA.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had rain yesterday, but the winds, like I'm shocked that Eric got out this morning. He flew to Chicago and I can't believe he got out, but
Yeah, I was worried about that. We'll see if he
mhm.
gets back.
Oh, well, we've had wind here for the last 24 hours.
Big, huge.
Big, huge wind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, I know we talked about this before. I think we talked about it last year, probably about this time, because people were asking questions about inventory management. I think it kind of percolates up when we're all thinking about doing taxes and um, what we've got, and what our deductions might be, and all of that sort of thing. Um, so, what have you done in the last year that you think has made your inventory either easier to manage, or you got to do something different because it's just not working? Yeah,
Cohort.
yeah, okay. I wrote that down
Everything I
because I
can on
wondered.
cohort.
Yeah, and you're using their system for entering and managing. That's great. Good. And good that it's working. Linda, how about you?
I'm still doing my spreadsheet.
Okay.
I don't have the volume. Well, I have a lot of pieces, but for me right now, the spreadsheet is the easiest way to do it. And I am on Cohort. I just can't seem to get myself together to get all of my work on there to hold
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And Shireen, how about you?
we've never really done that. I think I can see Linda with her prints especially. That can just be crazy trying to keep up with.
Crazy.
Um, Usually for us, we're kind of old school. Like when we're dropping at a gallery, we'll have an Excel spreadsheet that I set up that has pricing and dimensions, kind of all the details that you would need at an art show too. And then we always take pictures, when we go through, but just have kind of a pretty good idea of that. Since it's all originals, we're not dealing with multiple pieces and trying to keep track of all of that. I did activate on our website, it's kind of a side thing, our website's on Squarespace, and when we do a show, we'll run the POS system through Squarespace, but so all the items are technically there, but they're all kind of one-offs. But I did actually activate a sales page on the website. We don't tend to sell pieces that way, but we've kind of gone back and forth, and it's a side topic, but that does show what's available, and then also, um, kind of pricing. For us, it's kind of just another way to give a residual, this is the value of a piece type of thing. If people are checking him out online and trying to see what a piece might be. But we've never really used we started doing QuickBooks way back when, and it just wasn't efficient for us to have a whole nother database and just have to maintain that. So we're still old school and just knowing what we have.
I do have on my website, I like this post because it works well with photography and limited edition prints and all of that stuff. But the pieces that are on my website, when one sells, whether it's through the website or if I do it, privately or through a show, I can go in and mark that it's sold. So it keeps a track of how many pieces are left in that
Mhm.
edition of that piece, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful.
We do
Yes,
have
sorry.
everything. We do have everything on our website. So what we don't have in the cohort, I can always go back through and check. But we haven't produced so many that I don't know, have a good handle on what we have. But still, it's like, I'm glad you mentioned it because I had completely forgotten about that this year for taxes. For taxes, I got to put it somewhere in our tax plan.
Yeah, none of us want to think about taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, almost done. I'm almost done. My last year of having to do my practice and our business. So very happy.
It's a task. I've gathered. Now I have to put it together for the accountant. But yeah,
I've started gathering.
yeah. So, anybody have any updates from our last conversation? We talked about plans for spring. I updated the calendar that's on the Artist Club dashboard. Laura, maybe you can put that into the chat just so people have that link. And also, I wanted to be sure that, that when you go to the dashboard, if you scroll down, you'll see the resource library. And for that, you have to have a password. Just making sure that folks have the password, which is lowercase RWAGLIB. So I'll put that into the chat. So that you've got that, you can go in there. There's additional videos in there, and besides the Artist Club webinar videos, but all of that is in there for you. So what's on your schedule? Anything new been added? Things you're thinking about? How are you marketing yourself now that you have to start thinking about, well, it's not the first of the year anymore.
We were going to add Washington, D.C. with the Art Super Fair, but they're not doing it now in May. So we are seriously thinking about going to Houston in November, which would mean we'd have Chicago, Houston, Miami. So a little more heavier weighted from the mid-year on. So
Well,
we have
and that is the the biggest selling time
yeah.
for art, for just about anything,
Yeah.
but certainly for art is the late third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Shireen, how about you guys?
We're still kind of waiting on some shows, and to be honest, I've been just taking downtime in art world. We were tired after last year. So Eric's, I shouldn't say he's totally taking down time, but he's working on some totally new projects that he's had percolating that he wanted to do, and just got another commission this week. So just got a deposit on that. Just it's there's always seems to be something percolating. You just never know when it's gonna come on up, right?
Yeah.
But so working with galleries. Oh, we just lined up a show in Austin with the gallery he works there with there. So April 25th, he's doing a show there, and probably be doing a round of drop-offs and pickups, new art, and pick up other art from Dallas while we're up there. But it's been kind of nice to just unplug a little bit and not. He worked so hard making last year happen that he's been not doing, such long days in the studio. So that's been good.
That's great. Yeah. Good,
Hmm.
good, good for you both. You plant plant the um plant the spring flowers and all of that, right?
Exactly.
Linda, how about you? What's
I'm
cooking?
getting ready for that show in Great Falls, part of
Uh-huh.
Western Art Week that comes up in March. I applied for another smaller local show in Bozeman through the Bozeman Art Museum.
Oh,
It's a new show. Last year was their first one. And like I said, it's a small regional show, but that's okay. And then Santa Fe, of course. And is there a show in Chicago? Did we get a spot in Chicago? Not yet.
well, Eric and Jeff are actually on their way there today.
Okay,
So I think so.
good. And
We'll
would it be this fall or next year?
no, it would be this fall.
Okay,
It'll be this fall. So hopefully, all of that works out well and we'll have something to announce in the next couple of weeks.
good. Thank you.
We'll see. We'll see. It's interesting, the Chicago Merchandise Mart, they do a couple of shows. But or I should say, rephrase that. There are a couple of shows that are done there, and like the One of a Kind show, which is a great show. And what I guess I never maybe perhaps paid attention or thought about it, but the Merchandise Mart is the producer and organizer of those shows. So they don't bring in outside shows. That's not their thing. That's not their MO. So, thinking about bringing us in is, first of all, it's an honor. And secondly, how will that work?
Mhm.
So we think it'll work just fine, but that's what Eric and Jeff are there to figure out.
Linda, with all due respect, your show, the Redwood shows,
It's not close.
one of a kind doesn't hold a candle to the Redwood shows. It's more like an art fair inside. Now they do a great business. Apparently, I know friends who've gone and sold in December and say they've had good Decembers at times. It's right the same time as Miami,
Right.
but the spring show is a dog. We've done it twice,
Okay.
and it's a dog because everybody's buying tchotchke stuff. And so, and the level of artwork, much better at Redwood shows. So actually, I think it would behoove them to bring in a fine art show.
Well, and if you think about what's in the building, there's designers and architects and consultants, and it's a massive building. But yeah, I think this could be a lot of fun. I think it could be really great. There was a show in Chicago. It was called the Sosa Show, and it was primarily a sculpture show. And then as the years went by, they brought in other fine art and design, and it went away. And so, I think that this could, for the building, this could be a replacement for that. Expo Chicago, when it started, was housed at the Merchandise Mart, and that was when the Kennedy family owned the Merchandise Mart, and then the Mart was sold, and Expo Chicago moved to Navy Pier. So, and it's in the spring, and it's a higher end, not a festival kind of show. It's a
Last
higher end.
last spring, it was the same weekend as One of a Kind.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we were like, well, there goes that, so those sales. But we were selling old work. And actually, we did really well last year for that show.
yeah,
But it was just, you look at the art around, and it's like, yeah, we were
yeah,
used, I mean, it told us clearly where our marketplace was.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's much more, like you said, festival like, the one of a kind. Sophie, how are you? What's new? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm still pushing through, participating in a lot of contests, winning a few things. Um, Not going to that Toronto show finally, not going to be exhibiting there, but I think I might go visit to see what it looks like. And I have a lot of paintings that went down. I told you that last time, that went down to Florida to the equestrian events in Wellington and Ocala, and that's going on right now. They have a few pieces there, and it looks really good. It looks really promising. That gallery seems to like me a lot.
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I'm still updating the website and still painting and still doing everything, focusing more than ever.
Yeah, good, good.
I was wondering, I have a question. I was wondering what you think, since we're talking about shows, what you think about the Celebration of Fine Arts show in Scottsdale that lasts like 2, 3 months or something like that. What do you think about that?
I've been there. And it's kind of like a residency show. You set up your space. It's more than a booth. So you're actually, and what people are expecting when they come there is they're expecting to see an artist at work. And there's space outside, where ceramic artists have wheels, and um, sculptors are, sculpting and welding and whatever. Um, it's very cool, and it's very well attended, probably more so on the weekend than during the week. And it's adjacent. It's literally across the street, they're the highway, from where a lot of the major baseball teams have spring practice. So you get affluent people, who are there for watching their favorite team. And what else am I going to do when the team isn't playing? I'll come across and see this art fair. So it's definitely cool. I don't know that it's a place where, um, for example, other galleries or fair producers would be walking the aisles to discover somebody. I think it's more of think of it as a residency opportunity.
I was told by a couple of artists that have been there that they make their whole year there.
You can, I think you can.
They sell for their whole year there.
I think it depends on what you make. I think it depends on what your prices are. Yeah, I think it's an interesting concept. I think that they do a good job. They go do a pretty good job of marketing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, Art Expo New York. It's well established.
Do you recommend it?
The thing that I think is difficult is it's a residency. So,
I didn't see that anywhere. I see that some artists are working there and they're demonstrating and everything, but I didn't see it as a prerequisite or that you had to do that.
well, what else are you going to do? If you're taking a
Sit
space
sit
and
there.
you're paying for a space, how are you not going to be there?
No, I know you have to be there, just like at the Redwood shows. You have to be there, but I don't think you have to paint live all day long.
Well, I wouldn't say all day long, but I think that that's one of the things that people are expecting when they come there. In terms of, I don't think you have to paint all day long, but I think that what else are you going to do? I mean, that when people aren't filling the aisles, what are you going to do? You still have to be there, so I guess what I would say is I think it's interesting. I think if you have the um one the finances to house yourself in a separate location for, what is it, 2.5 months, and you know uh and the aptitude to do it for 2.5 months, then it's I think new experiences are always exactly that, new experiences and things that you can build upon. And it's like anything else. Who knows who you'll meet and what you'll find there. And now there's a large fair that happens also in the spring, um, in Phoenix. So there's things that are happening in that um, southwest part of the world in the spring that you know could could be could be interesting. Okay, guys. Well, this has been fun. I love getting together with all of you, and um, you know, think about how you're going to perfect your inventory system. Think about what the avenues are that you can pursue. Is it um, wait until the late summer and fall to really exhibit, save your resources and make your plan to build your inventory for that purpose? Or is it, you know, it's, as Shireen said, it's always good to take a little break, but then how do you uh, get back to it? And what is the plan for exactly that, getting back to it? So, think about all of those things as we all gather our tax materials and get them sorted and get them. This time of the year is a time that I just think is reflective in terms of what did I do, because you're looking at all of that, and what was the income, and what do I want to do? What do I want to do in 2026, and even planning for 2027? So, think of those foundational things, and we'll get together again next month. All right. See you soon. Thank you.